So now is the time that I get to say to the gentleman, let's roll some dice in anger. If you're watching, then please like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. This is Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus session 14. I'm Dave, Dungeon Master. Hiding just over there. There is Sam. That's it. No, you're the other side, Mark. Sam, who's playing Tinker. Beneath him is Jake, who's currently painting a miniature, who's playing Ace. Beneath him is his brother Josh, who's playing Kuraz. Other side, Tom, who's playing Grismore. Above him is Mark, who's playing Nuzgrund. And now he says nothing. And last but
I was watching the cat. She was stalking one of my memory sticks. I'm just going to move her over there again.
And last but not least is Lewis, who's playing Mephiston.
I like waffles.
Me too.
All the time, though. It's all the time.
Well, she's a kitten, Mark. What do you expect?
I know.
Yeah.
She gets away with it being really, really cute.
So quick. I'll try and do the recap as quick as possible. Then, as a mercenary group working for the Flaming Fist, you watch the city of Elturel be pulled into Avernus. After which, before that, you'd made a few friends in there. You know that your leader, Duke Ulder Ravengard, has also been pulled into Avernus. In fact, you formed a band on the way to Elturel, and you got quite a few fans in Elturel before you left. You got back to Baldur's Gate after being accused of murder, but then you had a mission to try and figure out what was happening with the murders in Baldur's Gate. You traced the cultists back to the Van Thamper family, who were also dukes of Baldur's Gate and very fierce enemies. After several investigations, you got to Thalamra Van Thamper, who was the leader of the Van Thamper family. And after a really tough fight, she escaped. However, she decided to turn against you with your old captain, Captain Zodge. Zodge, you managed to convince that you were in the right, and he arrested her. In the process, you found a puzzle box, which there's a suspicion that this will incriminate someone called Thavius Krieg, who you also found and arrested and is currently in custody in Baldur's Gate. You also found a shield of the Hidden Lord as well. The shield was talking to Mephiston. But then on the way, the mission was given to you to go and descend into Avernus itself and try and rescue the city of Elturel. To achieve that, you met a fellow called Falister Fisk, who was going to take you to Silvera Savakas in Candlekeep, who was a wizard of some repute, who was an expert of the Nine Hells, who was going to help you achieve that goal of descending into Avernus. On the way there, you were ambushed by a Cambion, a sort of devil child type fella and his followers, and he took the shield of the Hidden Lord from Mephiston, and Scarpard flew away with it.
Oh shit, mother!
Thanks, Rick. Which is where we're kind of picking up from. So you only just survived. In fact, Nuzgrund was. You could see the torment in his eye, and the player Mark had a full-on strop because he thought he was going to wipe you all out.
It's a full-on strop. I just said, you'll have to roll for me. I can't do it. I went for a smoke.
It was a rough combat. But what we'll do is we'll take you to that night where the rest of you catch up with the party, and they tell you what's happened. So Rhea's now caught up. She's the Hell Rider from Elturel that you made friends with. Falister Fisk is with you, who is the fella that's going to be introducing you to his kind of boss in Candlekeep. And we'll start at sort of night time as the rest of you catch up with all of this equipment that you've bought with you. So nighttime. You've all had a long rest by this point. Jake, if I think you're the only one that's still bleeping on my screen, you can all have a long rest. Now, this is unfortunate because Rhea, as she's sat down, is looking contemplative. And I've got quite a long speech for Rhea to read out, and I've just realised that I've been speaking for the past 5 minutes.
Make it 10.
Yeah. Shall I just go at it?
Go at it.
And then move forward. Because she starts to get contemplative now. She, as an Elturelian and as a Hell Rider, still doesn't believe that Thavius Krieg can be a baddie. He saved the city. So, as she's contemplative, she'll sort of turn around and say, and she'll just launch into this story. And she'll say, it was over a century ago that the great troubles began. Fiends roamed the land to the north and west of Alturel. Fields were despoiled, livestock slaughtered, homes razed, and people dragged off to a terrible, unknowable fate. Terror gripped the hearts of all. The city's cavalry rode across the land, striking down fiends whenever they found them, and suffering fearful losses. But it was never enough. For every fiend they destroyed, it seemed as though 2 more appeared elsewhere. The ruler of El Turel at the time, this is 100 years ago, the High Rider, asked his people to pray for the gods for aid. To everyone's astonishment, a mighty angel appeared in the city the next day. Her name was Zariel, which means companion of the light. The prayers of El Turel had been heard, and help had come. Zariel located the gate through which the fiends were entering the natural world on the fields of the dead west of the city. Zariel declared that she would lead the cavalry into Avernus, destroying the infernal host that was amassed there and striking a great blow against the forces of darkness. The High Rider sent out the riders of Alturel, now numbering many thousands, with Zariel at their head, riding a great golden mastodon. With a great cry, Zariel and her army charged through the gate. The legions of cup of tea.
Oh, the cup of tea legions. Got faith in them.
British. Most powerful
legions. Which makes me think about Space Captain Smith. Surviving on this is a great series of books if you ever get a chance to read it. The legions of Avernus trembled and buckled but did not crumble. Zariel was defeated, and the remnants of her army returned to Elturel, overcome with grief at the loss of their glorious general, but confident that the lords of the 9 hells would think twice about threatening Elturel again. There were great celebrations to honour the valiant knights of the cavalry, who became known as Hell Riders from that day on. And then she'll look towards you and she'll say, and this is why Thavius Krieg is honoured. This is his legacy, and he carried this on. When the undead horde attacked the city and he summoned the companion, the second sun above the city, and saved us all. I just can't believe that he's capable of confining the whole city to Avernus. It just doesn't make sense.
Have we still got the box, Dave? The puzzle box? Yeah. Because I sort of had a sort of rapport with her. We had a few games of chess and stuff, didn't we? And then she gave me a kicking. I'll say, well, I thought he was a good guy as well. I think we all did. But you heard what was said. This box, the one you're aware of, I'm sure, contains the evidence. So, that'll be make or break. If he's sold his soul, it's in that box. So we'll know. But until we can find out, let's best concentrate on what's at hand.
Yeah, she sort of thinks about this for a minute, and you've known her now. You know that she's a solid type. She's had your back. In fact, she saved a couple of your lives, and she'll say, she'll say, no, I understand, but you must know how difficult it is that the leader that we've had for, many generations have lived in Elturel, knowing that he's the hero of all of us, and
Who
Strange
knows?
situation.
It might be. It could have been for a variety of reasons. He might imagine if he's been blackmailed or somebody's holding someone, a family member hostage or a loved one. We don't know, do we?
Possibly
But
possessed.
we're going to have to look in. We'll be looking into it as and when. And I say the box. Hopefully, the answers are in the box.
Well, that's all we can hope. Yeah.
People are pretty fickle, but one thing is certain, and it doesn't matter how much good a man has done. As soon as he starts bargaining with devils, then he's lost.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to prove that someone has something over him, or the people of Elturel. And then she thinks about it, and Elturel's in hell, so I don't know how the people would respond to this. Perhaps it would be the last thing that they need to consider at the minute. I'm sure they've got more to worry about. But
let's go and find out, eh?
Agreed.
The only thing he's ever seemed content with is saving his own skin.
Well,
and I used to just shrug his shoulders. That's just my passing observation.
Yeah, she'll nod and she'll say, "No, I understand. I just needed you to know where I'm coming from, and because I don't want to stand in the way of the truth, but it's just not the situation. The whole situation is not right, regardless of what's happened.
We'll get to the bottom of it one way or another.
Yeah,
and we will.
Yeah, well, I'm here with you. I'm here with you.
We will.
Yeah,
we'll all die trying.
I think it's good that you're preparing yourself for the worst case, because if it comes down to it, then
going to hell, boys. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. See, as you say, preparing yourself for your worst, you can see she sort of. I mean, she's a warrior. She's a warrior woman, but she does that thing where she sort of catches her throat as she sort of says, yes." No, I agree. This.
Yeah.
Well, if you'll forgive me, gentlemen, I'm gonna take the first watch. I'm gonna walk the parameter, and you can tell she just wants to be by herself for a while as she considers it. So, chaps, what we'll do then? We'll move forwards. You're only a day out of Baldur's Gate, but over the past 4 days, the weather on the coastway has gradually worsened. Dark clouds released heavy rain until the road runs thick with mud. Yet you trudge on, passing by friendly merchant caravans heading north. On the morning of the 5th day, the rain subsides, but the dark clouds remain. Ahead of you, the path branches to a wider road heading to the sea. A raven perches on solemnly on a leaning post bearing 2 signs at the point, like arms pointing west. One says, Way of the Lion, the other says, Candlekeep. So on you continue to Candlekeep. The afternoon sun shines through the clouds to illuminate the grey walls and pale spires of a time-worn fortress that stands majestically atop a rocky promontory overlooking the sea. The trail leads straight to it, and I do have a picture. This is from the... Yes, it is. This is from the campaign art. I can force your view of Candlekeep. Nice picture.
Hold it up.
Yeah.
It's got a
candle. Oh, that's just popped up. That's gorgeous. Is that from the campaign, or is that a fan
That's the campaign picture. Yeah, it actually says in the book that while I'm reading this next bit to you, show you the picture. So as you approach, there's still storm clouds overhead. Oh, by the way, it's been 5 days, so you can provision as you see fit. I mean, if you want to say fit and healthy, it would be sort of 5 rations, but you can ration yourself and just knock off a couple, or 3, should we say, minimum.
Well, as it would happen, I think I've got 5 rations that I don't require. I do.
You don't need to eat.
5 rations I don't require because I don't need to eat, but I started with them. So there's a day's worth of food for everybody.
So yeah, I'll knock off 4.
And whilst Tinker's giving out his food on the days, Ace is going to be talking at him with his mouth full. Like, it's very kind of you to be thinking of somebody else.
Oh no, I've got 10. Sorry, for some reason. So
2 days even better.
2 days,
I'll have another one back.
and I'll
Don't
get rid
mind
of
if
all
I do.
mine.
You'd be like Bishop in Aliens. But he gives his food away, doesn't he?
Sorry, just to go really far back. Am I carrying that armor for you?
No, he was carrying it, I think.
Yeah, I've still got it.
It
Did you
wasn't
want me to carry it? Because I'm really light now.
Sure. Yeah.
What was it?
It's
change it?
just chainmail.
Chainmail. Okay, I'll add it to my inventory, mate.
Thank
What I want
you.
to know is how they managed to park that ship up on that wall.
They've done well, haven't they?
Serious Tokyo drifting that bad boy, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's on the coast, so who knows? Perhaps it's an ancient relic. What do you think it is, Lars? You can riddle us that one if you wish.
Write a haiku about it.
Yeah.
I wrote a haiku, but it looks like the Black Pearl to me.
You're determined to get a Barbosa character out.
It's got to be Barbosa. I can't remember which of the films it's in. And whether he's sailing in a maelstrom or something, and he's just there cackling, yelling at the crew. It's just that scene.
At World's End, won't it? Yeah.
Oh, was it? Wasn't he just in? Because I thought he was just in one film.
He's in a tour.
Spoiler alert, he dies at the end of the first one, but he doesn't really die. He comes back it's the third one, then he comes back in it.
Okay.
But he actually comes back at the end of the second one, doesn't he? He was in
yeah.
he was in all of the films.
Mm.
Here we go. Pirate ship adrift. Rocks embrace. Waves crashing song. Lost tales. Silent rock. Mephiston's got a giant cock.
Thanks for that, ChatGPT.
I added the bit about the cock in at the end.
Look, self-praise is no praise.
Is that you or Ace talking?
I'm talking about Mephiston's massive cock. It's on the brain.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have a shower. So you, as you approach the gatehouse, you're kind of ready for this anyway. If Alistair's already told you about it, there's 3 monks, a human, it sounds like a joke, a human, a shield dwarf, and a sun elf, stood there. Around their neck, they've got the holy symbol of Denier, the god of writing, and it's the elf who leans into you and bows in reverence and looks you all over and will say, welcome to Candlekeep. A gift is required from those seeking admittance. You must donate a book or scroll that isn't already in the library archives. Please present your gift for inspection.
So Grizz will pull out his star map. So the thought I've had, because I can create a new one, so it's fine. But the way I thought that Grizzly's star map would look like, it'd be like a massive. It'd look a little bit like a fob watch, but like a big one, all made of wood, and it's got like twisting dials with all the constellations in it. And he would offer that up because it's a star map.
Okay,
So
righto. Nice. So
I
if
spent some time making another one, but
sure. How long to make another?
That is a really good question. I will come back to you with an answer.
And a follow-up question: if you make a new one, this one disappears.
No, I don't think I don't think the other one destroys, but I need to have it as it's my casting focus and gives me access to things like guiding bolt and stuff.
Okay, so but you can make them willy-nilly.
Yeah, it's an hour ceremony. Oh, it does destroy the previous map. You're right.
Okay, so it's going to be your deception versus the Arcana roll.
I don't think that I would offer it up if I knew it was going to destroy it.
Okay.
Because obviously that would be dishonest.
Gotcha.
But would I have like written plans? Because I feel like this is a physical object that he's made over time.
Yeah.
So would I have like a collection of like plans or like the
Schematic.
information in paper so that I would use to help inform my recreation?
You
makes
tell
sense.
me, dude. I mean, it's
Because that's what I feel like. I feel like he's got the actual thing that he's made. That's the physical item. But I feel like he would have his notes on the formation of that item, if that makes sense. So
okay.
all of the constellations. So perhaps he would offer them that instead.
Yeah, which would be a unique tome, whatever you've recorded it on, and well received. So as the monk looks this over, she looks genuinely impressed, and she'll say to you, "This is wonderful gift. This we don't get many of your kind here, if you don't mind me saying so. But so you know much about the constellations and the stars?"
They are of much interest to me, and as a source of great research. This is my life's work. This is my life's research that I have collated over time. My interest is in the ebb and flow of the constellations and their effect on this plane.
Well, just a quick question then, if I may. You understand that this will be kept in the libraries here. This will be ours. I'm trying to talk like you now. This will be ours. In fact, no. I'm gonna run with that. Your tone has become infectious to this woman, and she'll say, "Oh, this will be kept in the library for you to come and go as you please, but this will be handed over to us to keep."
I am aware, and there is a copy of that research. Taps on his head here.
Impressive. In
And
which case,
it's probably best that this knowledge is kept somewhere for future generations.
that's why we're here. This is what we're all about. In which case, gentlemen, welcome to Candlekeep. As she gestures to the man. Fallister will pat you on the back at this as he walks past and says, "That's his good work." So
as if I planned it.
as we're walking in, I'm just gonna turn to Grizz and just say, why couldn't we have just given them Ace's songbook? I'm sick of hearing the same tunes.
I think Ace's songbook might be a little bit lewd for this establishment.
I can't even take the piss because I'm in the band with him. So I've got
Ace is probably just going to walk past you singing a song about gnome hookers.
I blush.
streets for a living. And she's always 3 feet tall. What?
Nice one, Mark. How loud are you singing the story of the gnome hookers?
I think. Well, I don't know how to. Potentially, if how loud would Kuraz would have said it to?
I would have said it just as we're like walking past them.
So would it be loud? Would it be loud enough for Ace to hear it though? I guess.
Oh yeah. I would have been talking to Grizz, but saying it loud enough, like, and deliberately enough so that everyone can hear it. Like, you know,
so
a bit
Ace
of a,
would
like,
definitely.
nudge. Yeah.
Ace would definitely be like, almost like, don't slander my music, and he'll start singing at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, that's a performance roll.
Yeah, I'm going to bury my head in my hands. I just shake my head just slowly.
Don't fail me now. That's a 21.
That's 21.
Nice.
11. So as you sort of strumming away, this what kind of is it a ballad of a gnome hooker, or is it what we're talking?
It's almost. He probably wouldn't even be playing his lute. He's probably going a cappella with this, and almost like just like tapping on his legs as he's walking past, like, and he's giving it. It's almost like I'd probably give it a bit of a vibe like Roxanne by the Police.
Nice.
No
pause. So as you get to the chorus, you sort of all Ace doesn't notice. The rest of you notice first that you're in this open courtyard. It's a huge open courtyard with buildings all around. It's very busy with there's sort of one of two different types of people walking past you. They're either monks or wizards. There's not much else. Of the buildings that you see, there's great big towers that you know to be wizards' towers, and Fallister's pointed out the occasional building, but you also see an inn with a sign above it that says the Hearth, and there's just a picture of a roaring fire next to it. And as the door opens, you can see light inside, and there's the smell of warm bread and sweet mead and all the rest of it coming from inside. And you all see this before Ace sees this. And I'd like to think there's a collective sigh of, oh, bollocks, he's going to turn around and see the inn. Between you all, as Ace does, in fact, turn around and see this open. And through the doors, you can see next to the bar, straight through, you can see a bar. And just beyond that, to one side, as you can see an empty stage.
Oh, he's gonna see this is my opportune moment to shine. He's gonna say, "Well, Kuraz, you bought and Grizz, you bought this on yourselves." And he's just gonna run in, slide through the bar on his knees, and then erupt up onto the stage.
Okay,
I'll shade you. I'll shuffle in really politely. Say, excuse me. As I get through, and then go and set my bongos up behind him.
So as you're doing this, Fallister will say, "But my oh, for God's sake!" and then just follow on behind. So as you slide through towards the stage, there's a few things that you notice. It's a well-appointed, lush inn. Everything's clean. There's no sawdust and spittoon in this place. But there's people reading. It's mostly quiet. There's drift globes, these magical drift globes. There's certainly no open flames. In fact, you've not seen an open flame since you entered the entrance of Candlekeep. But there's also an ogre sat in the corner with a book that looks like that's him holding the book type thing, and it's a massive tome, and he's just sat there. But he's got this headband, this sort of almost like a tiara type thing, but it's a great big hulking male ogre with this headband. But there's perhaps 20 other people in there, again dressed like either monks or wizards. Just there's a few polite conversations as Ace slides in. But all eyes turn straight towards you all as you start marching towards Nosgrond, being apologetic. I should imagine Mephiston sort of skulking behind, and so you make quite an interesting party with the automaton coming, the Minotaur, and then the Dragonborn. Everyone is fascinated by what you're going to do. So, should we have a performance then?
Oh, yes.
Go on then. So whatever instrument you're doing or whatever. So what we got so far? 13. Jake.
Oh,
hold on a minute, because I think there's something that I can do as a bard that now means that I can basically get everything at it automatically goes to a 10.
17. Lewis isn't letting the side down with his pyrotechnics.
Whenever you reach a level in that.
I mean, Mephiston's almost doing his pyrotechnics as he's wandering over to the bar with I forgot the dude now that sounds a bit Persian, like Minotaur. He's got his hand on his shoulder and he's like, to the bar as he's walking again.
Fallister, he'll say, we must go and see Silver. Oh. As he's being dragged along. So that leaves Tinker. Are you getting involved with the band and Kuraz?
No, he's not. I mean, apart from his blade songs, he's not a musical person. He's not very cultured.
No, but you could be like a sort of backing dancer type. You could. I mean, if you're
Maybe
Was it Mr. Magato with the robot dance?
That's an 11.
Oh, go on.
Maybe he's
I'll
not
kinda-
quite jamming because he hasn't got a sword in his hand.
I think seeing everyone kind of like up there, I'll be almost kind of like playing hard to get, where I'm like, fine, and then like join everyone else on the stage.
Someone on the death loot as well. Sorry, not death loot. Base
Oh,
loot.
it's in that 20.
That's
Natural
like
20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lars.
Lars has got a base loot, and he's very okay, Jake. So can you raise your 13?
I'm just trying to see if I can. There's definitely something that does it, and I can't remember whether I get it this early or not.
Is it that thing you've got, Sam, in Dragonlance?
That sorcerer's magical balance, which I think is specific to the
so
Wizards of the
Lunar
campaign
Sorcerer.
path.
Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
linked to that magical balance. I think it's called.
Yeah.
Thank
thing
you for
that
reminding
we
remembering
forget
though,
to
Mark.
remind you of.
Thanks for reminding me.
In the wrong game, yeah. We really have to. Can we all stop working shifts so we can just play one campaign at a time, for God's sake? So that gives you an average. If Ace can't, Kuraz has smashed that. What? So as you've smashed it, then, and you've decided to join in, then Kuraz, this is the first time that you've joined in with the band. What are you doing?
Well, because I think originally I said I was just like doing percussion. So I tell you what, a while back I picked up a chain. I think it must have been in the Vampire bathhouse. When I pick up the chain, and I'm always just going to be like using that as percussion, like kind of like, like so it's like she just in the back, and then as I kind of start to get more into it, I might just start like almost like whipping it around. But obviously, like trying to be careful not to like hit people with it. I don't know what kind of song it is, but I'm imagining maybe it's like kind of like starting to get heavier and heavier, and as it gets heavier and heavier, I'm just kind of like getting more and more into it.
Yeah, well, it's normally predominantly it's a heavy metal band. I think you none of you will object to me claiming that. Yeah. So the fact that the chain is being played in a heavy metal band just makes it more metal as your natural 20 increases. And now everyone sort of starts to tap, and you can see this ogre put the book down and everyone starts nodding away. As a few more people. I mean, it takes you the average to about, I'd argue about 15, my poor maths that I'm putting together. So that's including a natural 20. So you're pulling people into the establishment, and drinks are being bought for you. And all the time, Fallister's saying, "No, please, we must go and see." Oh. And which direction did you want to take this now? Is anyone going to be the voice of reason, the responsible adult, or are you all just...
Mephiston's going to turn to him and literally like kind of almost death stare him into the point and go, "Get in the mosh pit," as he's knocking back these whiskey shots.
I'd Mephiston staring him down, I'd just pick up a drink that someone's bought for us and almost just like put it into his chest as well.
Almost kicking him into the mosh pit where the ogre is.
I feel like Grizz had tried, but no one listens to him because he just can't get it out fast enough.
Well, you're trying because you rolled a 4, mate. So you're trying to be the responsible adult, whereas everyone else is just in the moment.
Has he been watching the performance for up to an hour? Up to a minute?
Sure.
So, enthralling performance is one of like my bard features. But if you perform for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to inspire wonder in your audience by singing. At the end of the performance, choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of you who watched and listened. So him, definitely the ogre.
Ogre's giant,
and then
mate.
Potentially. Oh man, that sucks. Well, and what's her face? The Hellrider lady. They need to make they need to succeed a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oh, is this kind of a charm effect?
It is a charm effect, yeah.
Okay, what's your DC?
DC is 15, I believe.
Okay. Ray has seen it all before, but even so, she's quite happy to just stand. She's sort of stood in the Mephiston position. She's at the door on the door frame, just tapping her foot away, but she's still grinning at you. She's with it, but you've not managed to charm her. Fallister, as soon as Mephiston says to him, "Get in the mosh pit," he leaps down and creates a mosh pit, and then tries to entice the Candlekeep's first ever mosh pit. Kicks off in the front of this stage as Fallister's just bumping into all the lads as the as your song kicks off. So, how long are you going to keep this up for? What?
So essentially, he's now charmed for an hour. If it fired off, it was a DC 16. But as part of that, while charmed in this way, the target idolises you, speaks glowingly of you to anyone who talks to him. Or hinders us, although it avoids violence unless it is already inflicted in a fight. If it ends after an hour, or if it takes any damage, so potentially if he gets punched in the mosh pit, it could stop. But he won't know that he's been charmed. But he can just be enjoying the mosh pit like we are the world's best band, and obviously Ace is the best frontman possible.
Of course. So just remind me, because I was rolling the dice and I was amazed at what I rolled. Do they know about this after the hour?
So he won't know because I don't think she knows that I attempted to charm her either. So if your target succeeds on its saving throw, the target has no hint that you tried to charm it.
Okay, because I rolled a d20 just to see what the room would roll, and I rolled a natural 1. So there's absolute chaos now, and the people coming in from outside, and you've basically created. There's all these. I'd like to think of it as sort of Terry Pratchett-esque, where there's loads of old men with Gandalf-type beards and robes and all the rest of it, arthritic joints, moshing. In front of
is there a boat like on that Gandalf the Grey video where he's got them like spinny hoops with the strings?
yeah. So it's Gandalf at Glastonbury time all over again. So this can carry on. This carries on well into the night until eventually what. No, you know what? I was going to say what counts as sort of like the police in this town. I mean, it's. You wouldn't kick off in Candlekeep. As the sort of police type figures turn up, they get involved. They're digging the music that much. And a good raucous night is had by all, unless you wanted to do anything else in particular.
No, I think that unless it's too late to see if it's too late to go and see the woman.
Mephiston's absolutely sloshed at this point, as he is once he has one drink, he just keeps drinking. Can he try and challenge the ogre to an arm wrestle?
Definitely. So you get it's one of those as you sidle over and you're having to sort of shout at each other and you're only catching the occasional word like you do in a
gig.
You know, in a nightclub is the word. I'm that old, I forgot the word nightclub. Yeah, as you sort of say, arm wrestle, and you see this ogre sort of laughing to himself, not believing what serious, and all right, fine. So he clears a space on a table and just bangs his arm down. Your arm comes up to about here on his arm. So he sort of adjusts with a big grin on his face. And he sort of slams down. He takes his pouch out next to him. He winks at you. Puts 10 gold pieces on the table.
On that, I'm going to cast Bardic. I'm going to throw a Bardic Inspiration at Mephiston as well. Just be like, yeah, that's so metal! And I'll just like start strumming like a really inspirational riff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. So Mephiston will slide it across, but as he's doing it, he's almost like trying to intimidate him a little bit, like blowing kisses at him and things. Like he's absolutely sloshed. It's the complete opposite. He's like, yeah, all right then, big boy. He goes like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just in which case, What I'm going to do then? Roll your. So what do you want to roll to see if you can psych him out?
I suppose it is intimidation, isn't it? If he's like trying to like blow kisses at him and trying to make him feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. So roll your intimidation to start off with, and I will go with his inside
11, annoyingly.
Okay, let me just check. That doesn't get the plus on
He's
that.
gonna
Yeah,
kiss you
okay.
back.
So all of a sudden, you can see this ogre's sort of. You can see a glint of intelligence behind this ogre's eyes. You've seen ogres before. You've probably fought them. You've certainly know about them. The way that he's holding himself and the way he's communicating. This isn't the usual ogre. This is a clever fella in front of you. But as you try and intimidate him, blowing in kisses, there's a moment where he's sort of like, perhaps, have I bitten off more than I can chew? No, surely. I'm not sure. And there's a hesitation. So you can have advantage on your roll versus a normal roll from the ogre. And you can have Ace's Bardic Inspiration, which is a D. Is it D8 now?
I don't know if it's only a D6 still.
D6. No, it does go up occasionally.
I tell you what, I'll walk over and also like as Lewis is like blowing kisses at him, I'll like slap him on the back and give him guidance.
Yeah. Okay.
Grismore's nowhere to be seen.
This is the session where we either win 10 gold pieces or break Mephiston's arm.
And then I'm basically gonna like stand there like by the table as well, like both hands on the table, like shouting at Mephiston, like to try and like cheer him on, but I'm just like screaming.
It's a D8, Lewis.
Nice.
Right. So you can roll athletics with advantage, plus D8 plus D4. If you want, I can tell you what the ogre is going to roll. He rolls so well. He gets 23.
Oh.
You rolled a 19.
Only 23.
It's a draw. It's a draw. Okay, it's an exact draw as you're holding each other. He's having to adjust, and you can see he starts to sweat. But similarly, you feel as if your arm is about to be pulled out of the socket of your shoulder. Do you? Right, you feel that if you were to continue, which you can do, and he wins, he's probably going to dislocate your shoulder. What do you want to do?
He's pissed. He'll carry on.
I'm just stood by the side of the table like, come on, come on.
I'll throw another Bardic Inspiration at you then whilst
I was pausing for an appropriate amount of time, hoping that you would. Okay, let me tell you what he's rolled this time. He gets +4 to the roll. He's rolled poorly now. He's only rolled a 10.
Oh, come on, then. You should have that.
Yes.
No!
This is massive. 7.
Ah.
D4. If you don't roll a 1,
for the
if you roll a 1, it's another draw.
Go on.
Okay, so.
So jammy.
So with you blowing a kiss, I'd like to factor that. In fact, no, you tell us, Lewis. How does Mephiston beat an ogre in an arm wrestle?
So as he's doing it, he's almost like staring at him into his soul and everything. But as he kind of makes eye contact, if he looks at him and looks him in the eye, he goes like that at him, really putting him off. And as he's doing it with his hand that he's not doing anything with, he's picking up another shot and he's just
nice. So as you, what I'm going to say is also you feel as if this ogre's elbow slips ever so slightly, which gives you the advantage. And with your distraction tactic, you slam his arm down to the table, and there's a massive cheer as Ace is still playing on stage. I should imagine at some point the rest of you are like, "Oh, I need a break from this," but Ace is like, "No, I'm still going. I'm still going." But there's a huge cheer as everyone, "Hooray!" And then the ogre stands up and walks over to you and grabs your arm and "Hooray!" and cheers as well. and it gives you the 10 gold, shakes his head and says,
Mephiston slams the 10 gold back at him and buys him a drink and goes like, good game, and he's really getting into it now as he's still drinking copious amounts of alcohol.
Nice. So I'll just touch on it briefly because it is a character that's in here. It's an ogre that accidentally had a band of intellect put on his head, and ever since then he's followed the pursuit of knowledge.
Is the band of intellect still on his head?
Yeah. That's that's what it is. This was out before because there's one of those, an ogre in Baldur's Gate 3 with a band of intellect on it. In case, possibly a little bit of a spoiler for Baldur's Gate 3 if you've not played it.
Yeah, thanks for that,
Dave. But yeah,
there's a song about this that's
sorry, Jake,
definitely going on the next. I was just Ace would be like, "There's a song about this that's definitely going on the next album."
Would there be an opportunity for Tinker to scout the room and just look at all the books that were being read for anything interesting for him?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
Really putting you on the spot there, Dave.
No, that's fine, mate. You can have an investigation if you wish. No, that's fine, mate.
Investigation.
Yeah.
It's only a 14.
14 is enough for me to tell you that there's at least 5 spell books now lying around on tables. You know how this works. The spell book is very personal to the wizard, and this is a repository of lore, including arcane lore. So it doesn't surprise you that there's these spell books. In fact, a lot of the ancient wizards that are currently moshing, they probably belongs to them. And in fact, Tinker, as in your life, being the class that you are, you've probably always wanted to travel to Candlekeep. You would certainly have heard of it.
Yeah, especially that's why I was asking because his memories are so short. He's older than what his memories are, so he awoke with no memories of previous life, if you like. So he's also looking at the other books because he doesn't understand what it means to be warforged. So everyone's referred to him or avoided him or whatever. He doesn't understand his own race, as it were, where it came from, why he came to be, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So it's like looking at the books. Like, is there anything here on Warforged? Is there anything on, do you know what I mean? That he might be able to sort of glimmer some of his own history from.
Yeah. So 14, 14, not to go into...
No.
You are, sorry?
Fine if it's a no.
No,
But
they're
he
bound
would at
to have
some point
something in the
break
actual
away and
library,
look
though, aren't
around.
they? They might not be in the room, but we've got to head up into the main bit anyway, haven't we? To see the person whose name I forgot.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark. Go on.
I was just going to say, if we can't find anything in the pub, we can check the main library tomorrow, see if we've got anything on Warforged. They're bound to have something. If it's this old Library of Alexandria type place, Lee.
Yeah, I tell you what I'll give you. Not in terms of 14.
If there's nothing in the room, there's nothing in the room. He would just take that opportunity to just quickly run around and look at the titles on all the books just to see if anything spiked his interest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I don't want to get just hard and fast. No, there's.
I mean, he'd be interested in the spell books. Obviously, he probably wouldn't disturb them, but he'd probably read the page that's open just to see if there's anything useful. But like for him coming here, this is like, oh, maybe I can find out some stuff that might tell me where I've come from because I don't know.
Okay, so what I'll tell you is you do see a multi-dimensional tome, other prime material planes, and you would have in your research you'd have heard of a prime known as Eberron, which is where a lot of the Warforged technology came from many years ago. And you find a tome about Eberron itself, and it mentions Warforged, but nothing to do with the origin.
You'll probably make a note of Eberron. You know what I mean? He's trying to build this sort of understanding, so he'll go, "Oh, if I look into Eberron, will that?" Do you know what I mean? He'll just make a note of it. And
okay. So, anything else? Any other business now that we've successfully arm wrestled an ogre?
After he's had a couple of beers, he's been
That's a clip, that is.
for hours. Might be singing slightly drunkenly. Some little song about a goblin, and go to bed.
See the little goblin. What's the Blackadder song?
Feet. Look at his little nosy woes. Isn't the goblin sweet? Yay!
I think, like, as we definitely walk out, Ace would definitely put his hand around Nuzzy's shoulder and be like, "That was so much better than our gig in Elturel.
It was
so much better."
Yeah, I'm still, but yeah, it was. That was a good night.
So
I didn't even chunder.
Which is always a good night, Mark. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So you get towards the end of the night, you get a strange collection of wizards and monks wanting you to sign their arms and sign their spell books, and that you seem to have
lied in a confused way.
You seem to have started.
I'm definitely going to convince one to turn around, drop his Kexnels on his backside.
Roll persuasion.
Oh, that's so wrong. I might have to go and straighten my Bohemian ear spoon. I'll be back in a minute.
Go on, what?
Bohemian spoon.
15. Bohemian spoon.
Something about Bohemian spoon is what I heard.
Yeah. He gets us. We'll style this as it's an older gentleman, perhaps a dwarf, and he'll say to you, "But I've got my iron pants on. How about the small of my back?" And he'll just offer you the small of his, so you can actually write your name as a tramp stamp on his on the small of his back.
Ace, as he's doing it, he's about to bend down any lower, but he's smelling your arse crack.
Okay, I think he's just going to ignore
and then he
that
kind of just like drop the pen on him as well after he's finished signing it, like almost like a bit of arrogance.
Right, roll to hit, and if you roll over 15, it can.
Oh man, do you want just do it as an improvised weapon? Is it strength or is it going to be dexterity?
Dex, please, because if you're trying to aim for his butt crack.
It's only going to be a. It's going to be a 11 to hit.
Yeah, no, that misses. It just bounces off his next to his cheek and falls onto the floor. So can we finish now, please?
Yeah.
I wanted to have a really serious session.
I know that never
like
works.
Download all over again.
But what? So you settle in. Falaster finds rooms for you. You're all stinking drunk. For those that will get stinking drunk if you wish, and you wake up with a heavy head next morning as you appear into the bright sunlight, blinking. You see there has been some changes in Candlekeep. You see the occasional. You see a lot more eye makeup and black clothing all of a sudden around as people have been heavily influenced by your music. You might even think that people have gone back and painted their bedrooms black as well, just because.
Wouldn't recommend it.
We started a gothic cult in Candlekeep.
in Candlekeep.
No, just so if anyone's in. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, it's all right. Go on, Mark.
I was going to say, just in case anyone's remotely interested, I've just posted what a Bohemian ear spoon looks like on the the campaign chat.
What's Bohemian ear?
Bohemian ear spoon. That's a Bohemian ear spoon, mate.
We were curious as to what you said. To be fair, I heard Bohemian spoon.
It's a type of winged spear, as they call that sort of thing. God knows why it's called a Bohemian ear spoon. I do not know. But it's a type of spear.
Definitely not the
Very
type of
pointy
cute.
one, that.
You'd have someone's eye art.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to clean your ears out with that, would you?
You would not.
Let the fisting commence.
Who's let him have the soundboard? Honestly.
Oh,
It's
mate.
a Discord thing. Anyone can use it. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's you know when a session starts going wrong, and it's how do you rein it in? How do you get it back? Right, gentlemen. So, Fallister comes in the morning, and he'll because he's got a bit of a thick head, and he lays the coffee down for you. Lots of black coffee, lots of bacon and eggs, just to sober you up. And he'll say, "Silveria is asking to see you. She has been waiting. Are you ready?"
Yes, we're ready. Sorry about
Okay.
that. Just happened time.
He as he turns around, he'll say, "No, it is okay." So he leads you to Silvera's tower. It's a huge circular tower. As you start climbing up, the effects of the night before start wearing on you, and you all, to a man, with probably the exception of Tinker, start wheezing as you get towards the top of this tower. Inside, you can see a middle-aged tiefling dressed in wizardly robes stands by one of the windows, caught in the fugue of intense contemplation. Perched in the corner of a table is a spindly little demon with warty green skin, buggy eyes, and black horns, and a whip-like tail. She turns back to you. Now, her surname is Savakas, which sounds Greek to me, but I don't know how to do a Greek accent. But I'm gonna ad-lib it. As she turns to you, she'll say, "I can't tell you how pleased I am to see you. To tell me though, what have you brought me?"
What have we brought her? We brought her anything.
Is it the puzzle box?
I'm so glad we didn't turn up when we were drunk. 'Cause I know
Yeah.
exactly what Mephiston would be slapping on the table.
It is the puzzle box, isn't it? This is the one we were going to go.
Yeah, puzzle box, yeah.
Yeah.
What was her
So
name
it's-
again? Her surname again, Dave? Just so I couldn't keep her name.
Savakas. Silvera Savakas. So you can see now as you present this puzzle box to her, her eyes light up, and she runs towards this box and then pauses and stops, and she'll say, "May I, gentlemen?"
Be careful.
Please.
But yeah.
Yeah, she'll. Well, I am a little bit of an expert when it comes to these things. This one is certainly well crafted. You know, this is Infernal Iron. You know, this construction of this is
Well,
probably from the Nine Hells themselves.
There's been an accusation against the leader of El Chirel that he sold his soul, and we believe that this box contains the pact, so we'll know whether or not he's guilty. And I believe you may be able to open it or look at it. Maybe help us out one way or another.
Yeah, she'll say, "I have been suspicious of the High Overseer of Elturel for a long time. In fact, Fallistus," and she motions towards him, and he bows. His mission was to stake him out, basically, just to find out any incriminating evidence. But I did meet him once, and he just struck me as a charlatan. No powers that he supposedly had seemed to be coming from him. And to this, because Ray is there as well, and she sort of She's gone a little bit quiet now, withdrawn into the corner. So let me read the rest of this to you then. And she'll say that even though he was hailed as a survivor, Thavius made all citizens of El Turel swear an oath called the Creed Resolute, which binds them to defend the nation of El Turel. After this was created, I grew to suspect that he had cut a deal with one or more powerful devil, using the Creed Resolute to bind all El Turel to his dark deal. I wish to prove my theory, and I believe the evidence is locked inside the puzzle box.
Can you open the box? Should you open the box?
She'll turn towards this creature next to her, and she will say, "Jezebel, pass me the oils." And this little demon type creature. In fact, I'll give it you for free. This is a quasit. So this is not a devil. It's still a fiend, but it's a demon. I'll show you a picture in a minute. It's different from the quasit that we fought in Pathfinder. But this little quasit scampers over, grabs this vial of oil, and Silvera will say to you, "Watch, all of these puzzle boxes are opened with simple means." And she'll show you the box, and it's got these indentations running around it, and she'll take this vial of oil and pour it in, and then she'll sort of manipulate it around as the oil spills down a certain path. And there's at one point she'll sort of, no, and then she has to adjust. It takes her about 2 minutes to get the oil where it needs to go, and then she swaps it over onto a different aspect. And all told, it takes her a good sort of 5 or 6 minutes to go through all sides until eventually there's a click. And then I've got another picture for you, which is also another picture from the campaign.
Thank you.
So this is Silvera and Jezebel, the quasit.
Yeah, don't fancy yours much.
So the box flies open, and inside there are 9 linked pieces of metal linked with chains. And as they open, Silvera will grab them and say, "This also is infernal iron bound in the 9 hells." And she'll turn to you and say, "Tell me, does anybody speak or read infernal?"
Someone does.
Funny,
I do.
funny that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
do.
abyssal.
I also do.
Yeah,
Bloody hell, 2 people.
it would make sense that she'd pass it over to Mephiston of all of you. I would suggest. But I'll read this for you then, Lewis. I can't. But unless you want me to, I can very quickly pass it to you, and then you can read it yourself if you wish.
No, you can do it. It makes it easy.
Okay. So inside, what is written is an infernal pact, and it says, "Be it known to all that I, Thavius Krieg, High Overseer of El Turel, have sworn to my master, Zariel, Lord of Avernus, to keep the agreements contained in this oath. I hereby submit to Zariel in all matters and for all time. I will place her above all creatures, living and dead. I will obey her all my days and beyond with fear and civility. I recognize the dispensation of the device called the Solar Insidiator, henceforth called the Companion. In my capacity as High Overseer of El Turel and its vassal territories, I acknowledge that all lands falling under the light of the Companion are forfeit to Zariel. All persons bound by oath to defend El Turel are also considered forfeit. I further recognise that this dispensation will last 50 years, after which the Companion will return whence it came, taking El Turel and its oath-bound defenders with it, if it is Zariel's wish. All this is my everlasting pledge.
What a gift.
Yeah.
At this, Rhea just breaks down. She drops to her knees, and you can just see her shoulders bobbing up and down as she's crying.
I'll just sort of kneel down and give her a little hug. I don't. Yeah.
Grizzle awkwardly pat her on the back as well.
Yeah.
But it's awkward as.
Yeah. So you hear sort of her saying, "It's true." Then I don't believe it.
It's true.
She's sort of, in that sort of denial phase, but you know she is. The truth is here. This is an infernal contract. It is what it is. So Silvera will look you over and say, "So it is worse than we suspected. He has doomed the citizens of El Turel. He has doomed all of their soul to be converted into fiends. The whole city, every single person within the light of the companion is now doomed to become the devil."
I mean, the most frustrating thing about that is the fact that he's took half of our fucking fans with him.
That is also true as an aside. Yeah.
We worked really hard to recruit him in El Turel.
We've been tasked with doing what we can to how much we can do is another point, but we've been asked to do what we can to get to the bottom of this, and if possible, descend into Avernus and try to salvage El Turel. Can you help us?
Is there a way we could break the contract?
I believe there is. Yes, if you wish to. Yeah, I have a colleague of mine that I know would be able to shift you into Avernus itself. If I figure correctly, he would be able to send you straight to the sunken city of El Turel in Avernus. And if you want your fans back, then you must find a way to release El Turel. It does sound to me as if somehow it is linked to the companion. I've heard the stories of the companion turning black before El Turel descended. This must be what's happened. I don't understand how the solar energy, the radiant force of the companion can condemn the city into El Turel, but that's something I would follow up on if I were you.
Could we ask a favour? Would you be able to contact Baldur Ravengard of the Baldur's Gate Flaming Fist and confirm what you've discovered today, that you've got categorical proof that Krieg is not what he's what he's pretending to be, and unless any of my companions have anything they need to do, let's go meet your friend who can shift us.
Well, she'll say to that is, I believe Alder Ravengard went into El Turel, was in El Turel when it was pulled into Avernus.
Who's what's the name of the other?
Oh, Duke Porter. Oh, Duke. Oh, right. I see where you come. Yeah. So to this, Rhea will sort of come to herself, and Fallister will be sort of next to her, and Rhea will say, "I will take on this burden. I will take this pact back to Baldur's Gate, and I will see justice done to him. You have my word."
You sure you could be all right?
I must see this through. I am not acquitted to descend into El Turel. With what I've seen from you gentlemen, I believe it is your task to descend into Avernus and my task to see that justice is done to Krieg. And Fallister will sort of say, I will travel with her. I will see her safe.
Yeah, God be with you. And yeah, let's get on with it. If it's going to happen, may as well get on with it.
Okay. So the only other bit, as Fallister's, you can tell he's got something else on his mind, and he'll sort of turn to Silvera and he'll say, "Also, my lady, the shield of the Hidden Lord has been found and discovered, and unfortunately, it was."
Stolen.
And she points towards Mephiston. It was stolen from, and there's a look of shock, and she'll say, "This shield must be taken out of the Prime. It will corrupt everything. But this is perhaps too many tasks. Perhaps this is a burden that is not on you anymore. If you wish, I can look into recovering the shield, or I can help you recover the shield."
Out of Prime.
The Prime
Get it out.
material, it corrupts everything that is near to it. There is a devil, a pit fiend named Gargorth inside.
Mephiston will almost just take a swig out of his cantree and go, "Fucking knew it." This is kind of like
Do you want to go for it though?
She looks Mephiston over and she'll say, "So you were in possession. Did he offer you a bargain?"
I still like to say that he's quite pissed from the night before, and he said he would not shut the fuck up all the time. He'd be like, "Yeah, he offered me plenty of bargains to take him back, but he can't be that powerful if he got himself kidnapped, can he?" And he kind of just shrugs, and you just see him like slump off into a corner.
Okay. So she'll turn back towards Fallister and because he overheard. Actually, no. She'll say to Mephiston, she'll say, "We need to know where the shield is taken to. Do you at least know where it's gone to?"
We did, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
It was
And
the
it-
But
tower.
Lewis completely ignored it.
It was that place next to that other place, the one where we were talking about last session.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
I'm pretty
It's a
sure.
shame.
I'm pretty sure Mark noted it down. Maybe.
She'll say, "It's a shame. This item, we suspect this unholy relic is what has made Baldur's Gate what it is. It is this unholy item needs to leave the Prime. But if we have no leads, then never mind. There's nothing else that we do."
We've got no leads, but we've got a Wakefield and a Bradford. Will that do?
So she'll say, "So on to descending into Avernus. I have a colleague that owes me a favour, Traxigor. He lives in a tower over the sea. And there's also someone else there that I would want you to meet. But it's perhaps best if you meet her in person. I can have griffins sent so you can fly straight to Traxigor's tower. He is out in the ocean if you wish to go. The safety and security of Candlekeep is here, and you can have access to all of our knowledge and research the devils before you descend if you wish. Or I am something of an expert on the Nine Hells if you wish to ask me any questions."
Only one
Possible
thing I need
for
to
me
know.
to access the library.
Absolutely.
Is there any sausages?
There's always sausages, Mark.
Oh, man. That's it. That's all I need to know. Look, right, I'm not getting back in the van until you say that we're a heavy metal band. Has everyone seen that?
No.
Bad news and more bad news. The old comic strip. It's basically the young ones, but they're a heavy metal band instead. The lead singer is called it's Vivian, and he's called Vim Fuego. And they actually appeared at Donington.
Get away. I have seen that, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we've only got sort of half an hour left, and I know we've sort of been sort of story heavy and quite into this. What do we want to move forwards a little bit? Is the normal question I ask you?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's always a fear of mine that I'm boring the shit out of you with too much story.
No.
So what do we? I would have put it out to the group. Do we? This lady sounds quite keen on us getting that shield back. So Actually, I'll ask her outright. I'll say, what's highest priority? Do you want us? Should we be getting straight to try and rescue El Terrell before anything goes worse, or do we need to get that shield?
She's ambivalent towards this. She will say that is your choice. I cannot make that choice for you.
Okay,
And
so
she's looking more back towards Mephiston again, and she was saying, what was he asking? What did he want?
He just wanted to go back to the hells. Want to be returned, so I'm assuming to be freed.
Okay. So she will say, well, that is interesting because he is incorrect in that assumption. And he made a bargain with you. What type of bargain?
We didn't actually make the bargain. I just ignored the fucker.
Oh, okay. Because oh, sorry, go on, Kurt. Josh.
Devil's lie. It's what they do. It doesn't surprise me that he was telling you mistruths.
Well, she'll contradict you there. She'll say, in fact, devils, being of a lawful nature, have to follow the law. They have to follow the law of their master, Asmodeus. An infernal contract is binding by all the laws of the cosmos. If a devil makes a contract with you, it is a rare, rare thing. It is more likely that the devil will be asking for your soul for purposes.
So why would he ask for us to send him back to hell in return for, well, presumably Mephiston's soul, if he has one? And then
Well, that I can answer. Gargorth believes that if he returns to the Nine Hells, that he will be freed from this shield. The shield was a celestial item brought about many millennia ago. Gargorth was sent by Asmodeus himself to corrupt mortals, and he was trapped inside the celestial shield. He grew too powerful. He had worshippers and became a bit of a demigod himself. And since then, go on, Mark.
I'm going to answer the main gist of what's worrying us about this shield is if one of us was to attune to it, would that mean that this would give this devil some sort of influence over it? That's the reason why we weren't that bothered when it got stolen, to be honest.
It's difficult to tell what Gargorth's full power is, but if the right person were to attune to it and Gargorth made a pact, could be tricked. If the pact was appropriate enough that he promises to do as you bid, if you take him to the Nine Hells, with him thinking that he can escape and he can't, then he is bound to you. There's nothing he can.
I guess I don't understand what Gargorth thinks he's giving the other person in this deal. He gets to go back to hell and he gets a soul for it. It's a win-win for him. Why would anybody make that deal?
There's no soul been offered. He made the bargain. All he wanted was to return to the Nine Hells. Is this not correct?
Do whatever he said. He said he can protect from. I don't even know if I heard it. I don't. So
you didn't, Mark, unfortunately. But this, she'll say, this is beside the point. If we do not know where it is and we do not know how to recapture it, then
fair enough. Shall we move on to hell in that case? Shall we leave the shield?
I think yeah. I think El Terrell's a more pressing matter here.
Okay.
That devil's stuck inside a shield, and while he may be corrupting this plane, he's still stuck inside a shield. We'll deal with him when we get back.
Who took the shield? That's what I'm.
It was a devil.
Yeah, so the devil could potentially attempt to try and free him from that shield. So there is.
Yeah, she did just say he was a kind of a demigod, which that does sound like the sort of thing that we want to have to kill when we get home.
It was though when he had followers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
he's
knows
not
if
as
he's got followers?
he's not as powerful anymore. She will say that she's researched the shield. She's researched binding. She's researched Gargorth himself as a pit fiend, and she believes the only way to release him would be a dispel good and evil spell. Which you guys would know is Kuraz and Grizz would know is a 5th level spell, so it's a higher level spell. And then there is only a slim chance. The only way that he could be released is by a deity. Maybe Asmodeus himself could release him, or perhaps. But why on earth would any a god want to release such a evil on the world? I mean, don't get me wrong, all devils are evil, but they have to follow the law. It makes them more dangerous than, and she points towards Jezebel, more dangerous than demons. Demons just destroy, they're just chaos. But devils know what they're doing.
Okay, this is the final call. I think she's trying to get us shield. Sounds hinty.
I feel like we should go into the shield as well. I don't like the fact that the shield's been taken by a devil, because the other thing is if the pit fiend makes a deal with the devil for power to lend the devil its power, then we could be, it could be a serious problem. Plus, Tom doesn't like leaving side quests behind.
I'm a completionist, boys.
Yeah, come on, lads. When you were playing Red Dead, you went and caught the White Arabian and did all the bloody legendary fishing and hunting, didn't you, lads? Come on. We can't leave it beyond.
No comment.
Right. So
I've never felt so called out in my life.
What's the plan? We've got advocates for both sides. So what's going to happen?
But tell me I'm wrong, Jake. Tell me I'm wrong.
He's gone full mic mode. Just while you're sort of discussing this backwards and forwards, as Silvara walks over to a drawer and takes out a heavy iron key and unlocks silver key and unlocks this drawer and pulls it forth and calls Tinker over, and she'll say, "I shall leave this in your possession. This is the only known map of Avernus.
Wow.
The person that created this went mad in its conception. And also, it is not, with Avernus being a different plane, it is not necessarily accurate. And if you think you know where something is, it may just move. However, there is some sentience in this map, and it may be able to offer you some advice."
Awesome.
So you now have access to this map, should you wish. And that's the player's map that I'm supposed to rip out of the book and give to you, but I don't like doing that.
No, you never do that.
That's fucking sacrilege.
I know, mate. I did it with Curse of Strahd. I've got Barovia on my wall here. I got another copy. It's the only reason I ripped it out.
Barovia.
So, what do you guys want to do then? It's kind of open to you now.
So
I want to kill some motherfucking devils.
Yeah.
Is this a return to Baldur's Gate? Is that what
Baldur's Gate 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I'm just going to go for a burst while you're talking.
Right.
So I've got the last session up in YouTube. I'm watching the subtitles,
Mm-hmm.
and all I've seen on the note of it is it's a return to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it said about him going back to Baldur's Gate.
How long was the journey from Baldur's Gate? 5 days?
She says we can use the griffins.
Yeah.
What if we say, give us
20p?
20p, 3 days, we'll do it. And then we're going to hell.
We can sing Kiss
Jake,
from a Rose.
Dave did say where the shield was going, didn't he?
It says Baldur's Gate.
We only have to get back here.
quite
We've got to
specific
we'll have to bring the griffins home, assuming we don't get killed.
Just
So
run
that'll
straight
take us
to
back
hell.
here where we need to be.
Would
To
you reckon
meet
we'd be
the
able to
ladder.
just like just just tie the griffins for a bit and just hold them in place and then use them to get back as well?
She
Well, the
will
other thing
say
is
to you
whether-
that she does have access to a teleportation circle to send you instantly back to Baldur's Gate.
Oh, good.
The other thing I'll say is I can't make the next session, so I'll abstain because I'm obviously probably not going to be here, unless something drastic happens and I'm off work. So
Let's go
I'll
get the
abstain
shield.
and let you guys, because you guys are going to be the ones doing it. You know what I mean?
All right,
I feel like
let's do shield.
I feel like it's an important plot point. Let's go get the shield.
Yeah, Kurat's still kind of like thinking
I'm
all
gonna
those people, if they get turned into devils, that's just more soldiers for them. That's what his head's at. But I think with everyone else kind of like relenting, I'd just turn and say, get us into Baldur's Gate, give us 3 days, and we'll be back. Well, 3 days and we'll have the shield.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
well,
what are you going to
because we're
do
up past now,
without
so-
cheating? What are you going to do to locate the shield? Mephiston can't remember where it is.
Can he roll a memory check to see if he remembers?
No.
I'll keep it.
Do I?
It went to a tower. I'm sure it mentioned a tower. And-
So do you? I assume you can remember what the creature looks like. If it's returned to Baldur's Gate, we can start by asking Captain Zodge if anyone of that description has entered the city.
It can change shape. It was
Fuck's sake.
an old man when we met it.
Yeah,
I
we
guess
got
the thing
ambushed
is, though,
This is why it went so badly. We got proper ambushed.
I wonder if it's got like a glamoured form, like like if it's always takes that
Yeah.
form though. Like he always has the same demon form or same devil form
I
every
think we have
time.
the same devil
Takes
form.
the same human.
Ooh,
Takes the same human form every
good
time.
point. I don't know.
Because then we could just track him down. Because he got a name, hadn't he? In his human form.
I think I have. Let me just have a look. I've got locate object. So if we get to Baldur's Gate, I can
You just trouser on round and play.
quite
hot cold.
literally work some magic.
Nice.
How does
Okay.
that work, Josh?
There is 1-5 in Van Thamper as well. So go hunt them down because a fair to middling chance that it's going to have gone to him,
Yeah. That's
given where
right,
we
yeah.
took the shield from.
We were on
And then we
decent
go stamp
terms.
on his penis.
Yeah, we were on decent terms with him, weren't we? Though we'll ask. I think we should probably ask first, and then if he says no, then we'll stamp on his penis.
So it's a quick question. Are we calling it quits at 10:30 tonight?
That's
You want to tell me?
Is there nobody here at Candlekeep that could locate that shield? We're in a
Yeah,
place full of mages and wizards and stuff, aren't we?
The ogre.
Yeah, well, Josh can. Kuras can. He's got that would be the best bet. From here, I think the distance would be too far. The problem with Candlekeep is you can't port in or out of it. So what she's offering to do is to. I've just remembered that after I've offered you the teleportation circle. Is she will offer to fly you to Traxigor's tower, where there's where you can go to Avernus, where he can plane shift you into Avernus. But there is a teleportation circle there to Baldur's Gate. So the distance for a locate object spell is too far from there, Lois, to answer your question.
Yes, yeah. So I'm thinking, once we're back in Baldur's Gate, then I'll start, trying to feel around for it.
Is there no way that I'd be able to locate it through other means, i.e., my patron?
You could try. Roll a percentage dice for me, Lewis.
Oh, what dice?
A percentage. If you go onto the dice selector, there'll be 2d10 next to each other, and that's percentage. This is a very, very incredibly slim chance. I'll just tell you now. Yeah, no. You get Nothing in response to your
Demise my
request.
She'll be back.
In terms of what, let me just double check the item. As it was flying away from you, Gargorth was still pleading with you to come and rescue it.
Yeah, I know. He
from
said
this,
something.
Yeah, and well, the only thing I'm going to say, Lewis, is it got. Its hollow whisper was still pleading with you 120 feet away. So you believe that if you get within 120 feet, you could possibly, or it could possibly communicate with you, or maybe someone else. But you'd have to get within 120 feet. Well, locate object. What's the range on that then, Josh?
I believe it's 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. Okay. So you'd have to be. Is it concentration?
It is, yeah, up to 10 minutes.
Yeah. So you'd have to travel round, possibly repeat cast it, traveling round.
Yeah. So my thinking is essentially what I'd do is I'd almost like almost I guess like meditate for a moment, reach out to my deity, and essentially seek some guidance, and then hope that I can start to kind of like hone in on it that way. And then if it means repeat casting, then so be it.
On a
But
long
I'd
rest.
I'd be pretty hell bent on finding that shield. Pardon the pun.
Okay.
On a long rest, I can assist with that as well. I can.
Because it says so. Basically, like describe or name an object that's familiar to you. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as the object is in 1,000 feet. So as soon as we're within the 1,000 feet, we get I'll get a sense of the direction that we need to go in anyway.
Oh, okay.
So it's just kind of like getting in that initial range.
Okay.
And I'll ritualize some of my familiar at some point. So I've got
Yeah.
my owls.
Yeah.
So here's
Go
on. Sorry, Josh.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, I was just reading the spell. So if the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you've seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object. Yeah, it's sort of relevant.
Okay.
This spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direct path between you and the object.
Right, that last bit again. Sorry, mate.
So
lead.
this spell can't locate an object, if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direct path between you and the object. So if it was in like a lead-lined box, then I wouldn't be able to locate.
Okay. I think this is gonna build to something more than just finishing the session now. We've only got 15 minutes to get to 10:30.
Can I tell a joke quickly?
Well,
I think you've heard it. It's two fellas lost in the desert, and they're starving, and they're thirsty, and it's not nice. And one of them says to the turns and he goes, "I know I'm hallucinating, but I've just seen a bacon tree back there, big juicy slabs of cooked crispy bacon just hanging off it. Oh, so I know it's not real, but his mates says, get a bit further." His mate's like, "Oh no, you know what? You put that idea in my head. I can't rest now. I've got to go back and see if that really was a bacon tree that you saw." So he goes back, comes back. He's had the shit kicked out of him. His mate goes, "What the fuck's happened to you?" He goes, "So it wasn't a bacon tree. It was an ambush." Sorry.
There's a suit. Right. Okay. I'm going to rewatch that clip several times because there's a suitable amount of this, Mark. Just so you know. The whole of the right-hand side of my screen was three lads doing this. Makes me happy. Every time he tells me a joke, I refuse to laugh. Right.
Green that smells pork. Kermit's finger.
I can't just kick him off the call, gentlemen. No. So what I'm going to do to finish the session then, so you're heading back, what we'll do is we'll take you over to Traxigor's tower. And I'm gonna rush through this because I'm getting tired myself. So you meet the wizard Traxigor, who is actually an otter he's been turned into. But he liked the form that much that he stayed that way. But he's searching for his tuning fork, which some of you may know is how he's going to plane shift. It's a tuning fork tuned into Avernus. And he's certain that he can take you to the streets of El Turel, assuming that they still exist in Avernus. And as he mentions this tuning fork, he asks someone called Lulu to help him. And as he mentions the name of Lulu, there's a weird sound comes from underneath a pile of rags in the corner.
Was that the sound that I just made?
No, it's more of a trumpeting sound coming from
that
underneath.
Is so cute.
Such the dragon's Dumbo.
And
Dragons.
Silvera would have already told you this, and Traxigor will say that Silvera found Lulu next to the portal that Zariel went into. Lulu has lost her memory, but she is a celestial being. I best read this to you. So this is Lulu's background. Lulu will communicate to you individually. She can speak Celestial. Can anyone speak Celestial?
No.
No.
I would like to reach out a hand towards Lulu, though.
Yeah, she nuzzles her head against you. Yeah. She can communicate telepathically, but only individually. But she'll do this. She'll probably do it to. Perhaps you probably do it to Ace, is the most sort of charismatic, and get you to relay this story. And she will say that I was with the angel Zariel when she assembled her army of Hell Riders to attack Avernus. Through the gate we went, tearing through devils like a song through air. Victory was within our grasp until some of the Hell Riders betrayed us. They retreated through the gate and sealed it behind us. Before she was captured, Zariel told me to hide her sword so that it wouldn't fall into evil hands. Someone helped me hide the sword, but I don't remember who. We found a place to hide it, but I don't remember where. I escaped Avernus, but I don't remember how. Most of my memory is gone, and I don't remember why. And Silvera will say to you that Lulu might be your best bet. She doesn't know why, but she believes Lulu is somehow connected. She knows Lulu is connected to Zariel, and therefore the salvation of El Turel may rest on Lulu's shoulders, and Lulu will come with you into Avernus.
I'm tickling Lulu, Dave.
We've heard the story, though, haven't we? We've heard the story about the fact that going down in El Turel, Zariel went with she was riding a golden mastodon.
Yeah, Lulu's not. She's tiny, I believe.
But she looks like an elephant.
Yes.
Just a little silhouette over now.
Would it be a safe assumption to make that? Could they be the same thing?
Yeah, so she's a small celestial. Small would be sort of similar size to maybe a kobold, something like that. In fact, small would be possibly halfling size even. But yeah, Lulu will say, I haven't got a voice for Lulu. I'm not going to do a voice for Lulu. I can't do cute.
Listen.
Lulu will say that she's lost most of her abilities, but she recalls being a lot bigger and Zariel riding on her back. but she can't remember how to do that. And she knows that she used to be able to heal. She used to be able to do other things that she can't do.
Is Ace relaying this to us, or is Lulu kind of like gonna just say this to us like individually?
If you're asking Lulu a question, she'll send it to you telepathically and then rely on you to relay it to everyone else. If you don't, she'll relay it to everyone else individually. So just do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think like Ace would obviously have relayed the story initially, but then when he's kind of like twigging about, I've heard about this like weird mastodon elephant that's Zariel, and you look like a weird. I mean, I guess it's a safe assumption to make that she looks like a weird elephant.
I think like when Lulu like
call her a weird elephant.
When Lulu like nuzzled into my hand, that's probably like one of the first times you've seen like a real like warm smile from Kuraz. And as Ace is like relaying the story, I'm gonna go back over and give her another like pat on the head and say like, we will restore you to your former glory.
Yeah, she's chuffed with this, and she starts flapping her wings and flying around you. She does, because I'm going to forget this. I'm going to say this out loud to you all so you can remind me. She has an aura of invulnerability. So it's an invisible aura that's 10-foot radius sphere around her, as long as she's alive. Any spell of 5th level or lower cast from outside the barrier can't affect creatures or objects within it, even if the spell is cast using a higher spell slot. Such a spell can target creatures and objects within the barrier, but the spell has no effect on them. Similarly, the area within the barrier is excluded from the areas affected by such spells. Her type is a Hollyphant. She's a Hollyphant. She can use an action to suppress this trait. Just so you know.
She's so good with us. So
yeah, man.
You do realise that now we know this, you are blatantly coming with us everywhere we go.
Yeah, no, that's her intent. She wants to get her memories back. She knows she's connected with Zariel somehow.
She's going to be a seed. We're literally just going to like hold her above our heads and just like move together.
So
you said you didn't have a voice for her, Dave.
Yeah.
Need to find one.
Oh.
Get like a voice modulator.
I can't do it. If I do it, she'd turn into a high pitched Geordie. If I can't do high pitch without going a little bit Geordie like.
No, that's Jim's voice.
I don't know why.
So I'll just give her a hella low voice.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm gonna heal the shit out of you.
The fuck you say to me?
So next session, then we're on the hunt for the shield back in Baldur's Gate. Is that right?
Yeah, boy.
Absolutely. Okay, and it's going to be Kuraz repeat casting, locate object to hope something pings. Okay. Yeah.
Grizz can also assist with that. I can swap my spell out for it if I need to. So
okay. And then there was also see if Mark's wrestling a kitten.
She's not shooting up my finger in any way.
There's also the suggestion that you can start asking if people have seen, the farmer turn up or the Cambion turn up. Or...
Excuse me, sir, but did you watch the video last session? Do you know where the shield is?
Do you know what YouTube is?
So you would assume that as the shield has been hidden for a long, long time, that whoever has it would know about the lead. So you're probably going to have to go full investigative mode. Is all I'd say to you.
I think the Van Thamper thing was a good shout.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm not going to be here. Obviously, I'm at work on Sunday, which is the next session. So if someone could remember that. I'll try and dip into the chat, but it depends how busy I am at work.
Have you lost a magical item and it wasn't your fault?
the one thing I've learned out of this whole experience is I definitely need to pay more attention. But
No
just
pad, mate. No
some
pad.
dice and then leave.
Or post-its. Just stick post-its to your laptop.
Just type on your notes and your character sheet.
Which I
No,
do
that's
understand.
Dave,
That's too simple, Dave. Why would you pick a simple solution like that, mate?
I think the one thing that put me off is the fact that we broke Mark, and I was too busy
Yeah.
focused on that.
Yeah, Mark was broken.
Oh, that's big pencil. Oh,
Right, so we'll call it quits there then. What we'll start with next time is we'll start you off in the barracks of the Flaming Fist with Zodge, was the first thing you were going to do.
Go, Dave, I've just realised I've got something in my backpack that says 3 spell books, page 22.
That's the 3 books that the 3 books that I mentioned earlier that we were talking about.
I think it was.
The ones we found in the old crypt.
Yep. So Sam can make use of this. What have you got in here? Burning Hands, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Fog Cloud, Ray of Sickness, Silent Image, Charm Person, Find Familiar, Identify, Magic Missile, Sleep, Cloud of Daggers, Dark Vision, Detect Magic, Featherfall, Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, or Ace's Hideous Headbang.
Hideous headbang.
Woo! Oh yeah, I could copy loads of them.
Yeah. So for that, if you have a look in the player's handbook for how much it would cost, I can text them to you, Sam.
Yeah, just send me a message now because I've got I know the quick read through. I've got some of them already.
Yeah.
I think it's 100 gold pieces plus 2 hours or something like that. Per
And I mean,
spell or something.
if you want to learn Ace's Hideous Headbang, just come and speak to me. I'll sort you out.
So I'll stop the film out there. If you've watched this travesty of a roleplay game and enjoyed it, don't forget to like and